Welcome, welcome, welcome into another day and another lesson in A Course in Miracles. Today we are on lesson 79. Let me recognize the problem so it can be solved. And yesterday we were on Let Miracles Replace All Grievances, lesson 78. So we're going to take a quick moment to tune in. Letting everything else fade into the background and the distance as we bring our full attention to the breath, closing the eyes and just turning our attention inward. Breathing in and breathing out. Opening the heart and clearing the mind. Perhaps even noticing at times how ridiculous your own thoughts are. Instead of getting lost in it, just remembering to laugh. Let's just take 2 more breaths here, seeing if you can give yourself a nice little laugh at your own thoughts. And bringing your attention back to the space. All right, let's go into lesson 79. Let me recognize the problem so it can be solved. So a problem cannot be solved if you do not know what the problem is. Even if it is really solved already, you will still have the problem because you will not recognize that it has been solved. This is the situation of the world. The problem of separation, which is really the only problem, has already been solved. Yet the solution is not recognized because the problem is not recognized. Everyone in this world, we all seem to have our own special problems. Yet they're all the same and must be recognized as one if the one solution that solves them all is to be accepted. Who can see that a problem has been solved if we are thinking that the problem is something else? Right? 100 different forms of fear. Even if we're given the answer, we're not going to be able to see how relevant it is to us. So this is the position that you and I find ourselves in now. We have the answer. We have the answer. But we're still uncertain about what the problem is. A long series of different problems seems to confront us as one is settled, the next one and the next arise. There seems to be no end to all the different problems that show up. There's no time in which you feel completely free of problems and at peace. And so this temptation to regard problems as many is the temptation to keep the problem of separation unsolved. So that's actually what we're doing when we're thinking of this problem and trying to brainstorm like, oh, I'm not feeling well today. Well, what's the problem? Who's at fault? It's because of my money. It's because of this. It's because of that. That's the part of ourself that doesn't want it to be solved, right? The world seems to present you and me with a vast number of problems, each requiring a different answer. This perception places you in a position in which your problem solving must be inadequate and failure is inevitable. Because no one could solve all of the problems that the world appears to hold. They seem to be on so many levels, in such varying forms and in such varied content, that they confront you with an impossible situation, right? What about, okay, world issues, international affairs, homelessness, and then all my personal problems, and then, so many different levels, so much different content. Dismay and depression are inevitable as you regard them or as you watch the news. Some spring up unexpectedly just as you think you have resolved the previous ones. Others remain unsolved under a cloud of denial and will rise to haunt you from time to time only to be hidden again, but still unsolved. All this complexity is but a desperate attempt not to recognize the problem, separation, and therefore to not let it be solved. We're like frantically avoiding having an answer that will work. If you could recognize that your only problem is separation, no matter what form it takes, you could accept the answer, because you would see that the answer that this is giving us, you'd see its relevance. Sorry, you guys. You would see its relevance. Perceiving the underlying constancy in all the problems that seem to confront you, you would understand that you have the means to solve them all. And you would use the means because you would recognize the problem, the thread that goes through all the different problems that it seems like you have. There's separation, there's constancy in all of them. In our longer practice periods today, we will ask what the problem is and what is the answer to it. We will not assume that we already know. We will try to free our minds of all the many different kinds of problems we think we have. We will try to realize that we have only one problem, which we have failed to recognize. We will ask what it is the problem, and wait for the answer. We will be told. Then we will ask for the solution to it, and we will be told. The exercises for today will be successful to the extent to which you do not insist on defining the problem. Perhaps you will not succeed in letting all your preconceived notions go, and that's not necessary. All that's necessary is to entertain some doubt about the reality of your version of what your problems are. You are trying to recognize that you have been given the answer by recognizing the problem, so that the problem and the answer can be brought together and you can be at peace. The shorter practice periods for today will not be set by time, but by need. You will see many problems today, each one calling for an answer. Our efforts will be directed towards recognizing that there is only one problem and one answer. In this recognition are all problems solved, all problems resolved. In this recognition, there is peace. So how do we know we've really identified the problem and we've gotten to the right answer? There is peace. There will be peace. So be not deceived by the form of problems today. Whenever any difficulty seems to rise, tell yourself quickly, let me recognize this problem so it can be solved. Then try to suspend all judgment about what the problem is. If possible, close your eyes for a moment and ask what it is. You will be heard and you will be answered. And so the shorter practice periods for the day will not be set by time but by need, right? So we are going to do the 10 minutes. My computer's kind of tucked away, so I'm just going to be using this today. We're just going to begin. Oh, and I guess I could give a quick, longer practice periods. We will ask what the problem is and what the answer is to it. We will not assume that we already know. We'll try to free our minds of all the many different kinds of problems we think we have. We will try to realize we only have one problem, which we failed to recognize. We will ask what it is, and we will wait for the answer. We will be told. Then we will ask for the solution to it, and we will be told. All right, gonna go in for 10 minutes today. Finishing up with the last 20 seconds. Such a beautiful practice. Let us recognize the problem so it can be solved. And tomorrow we'll be moving into lesson 80. And I will look forward to joining with you then. Much love.